Okay, I'd like to introduce the General Manager and CEO of Molten Miguel Water District, June Kim Lopez.
Welcome, everyone. It's so great to see all of you here, to brave the weather and still be here, because this isn't just a press conference. This is a demonstration and a celebration of what we can do when we work together. In the audience and up here, we have leaders of our communities, our customers, our elected officials at the state and federal level and local level who are championing for our communities all the time. And that's why we couldn't do this by ourselves. And we're so excited to announce that we received $10.3 million. Yes. From FEMA to help us make our infrastructure that are so critical more resilient against earthquakes, storms like this, all the conditions that we're seeing that are in the extremes. So if you're looking up, you probably see this podium. This was custom made by our staff to demonstrate what you cannot see, because it's hard to appreciate when it's all out of sight, when it's underground. But these are the infrastructure, like the ones behind me, that carry the water, wastewater, that is so important for the public health and safety, the environment, our economy, our quality of life. So this project will allow us to relocate 2 miles of sewer lines located in Laguna Niguel so that it could be more resilient in an earthquake or in a storm event or even in a wildfire. Now, what you see behind me is we couldn't bring the big ones, so we brought a smaller version of it. Those are 8 inches. And the real lines that are going in is 3 times that size, so 24-inch in diameter of pipes that will be relocated. And what you see around those pipes is concrete casing, also dirt casing, to make sure that they are stable underground so that in case of any events, it's resilient. You know, it's interesting because Congressman Levin, when he got here, he said his 9-year-old daughter asked him this morning, when's the next big one? Is it gonna happen in my lifetime? And the answer is yes, right? Yeah. And that's why projects like this is so important, that we bring these resources into our community, existing funds that are out there, both through FEMA at the federal and also state level. And you know, it's interesting, I don't know if you know this, but I learned this attending and listening to Supervisor Foley's Climate Resiliency Summit last year, which said that Orange County, in the FEMA index of risk, by the way, 100 is really bad. That's the ultimate bad point. Orange County is 99 out of 100 in terms of vulnerability in a major event, a natural disaster event. So it really hits home the importance of our collaboration. Out there we have our business community, our environmental organization, our community-based organization, non-government organization, we have our customers, we have our consultants, just such a diverse team of people who make this possible for all of us every day. So this is all of our celebrations, so I'm very, very excited and happy that you're here. And you know, this hard work takes leadership. And it's with my great honor to introduce the leader of our board of directors, our president, Dwayne Cave.
Thank you, June. Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I'd like to express gratitude to FEMA, who, although they're unable to be here today, for us to recognize their efforts, their acknowledgement of our commitment to modernizing and safeguarding critical infrastructure is greatly appreciated. This project exemplifies our dedication to enhancing infrastructure to mitigate risk and proactively ensuring reliability during natural disasters. Originally installed in 1980, the pipeline has more than served its purpose, but critical modernization improvements are necessary to address the vulnerabilities in our infrastructure. The new pipeline will be more resilient to joint and pipeline during earthquake and severe storms. Ultimately, this project underscores our commitment to ensuring the reliability and resilience of our community sewer system. You see, resilience planning is not just about building stronger pipes or fortifying infrastructure against existing threats. It's about considering people-centric factors like how to protect public health in a natural disaster. We adopt a proactive approach towards disaster risk reduction while remaining facilities. Let me do that one again. We adopt a proactive approach towards disaster risk reduction while remaining fiscally conservative in our stewardship of public funds. As president of the Molten-Miguel Water District, I take that trust that is placed by our customers and the entire community very seriously. Thanks to this FEMA grant, this project does not put the full burden of funding onto our customers. Approximately 75% of the project's expected construction cost will be covered by federal funds. And as you know, our customers send a lot of money to the federal government. It's nice to see some of those funds returning home to us. Hear, hear. The district began pursuing federal support for this project in 2019 as a way to mitigate the risk of infrastructure damage during seismic or severe storm events. Undertaking a project of this magnitude is no small feat. It demands not only intricate technical expertise, but also the collaboration and the input of various stakeholders. This project also serves as a prime example of the power of partnership. We cannot achieve success alone. We are immensely grateful for the support of our customers, elected officials, and stakeholders. Partnerships between federal and local government and agencies, as well as between state and local entities, have been instrumental in additionally collaborate among various local governments, including county, city, and water district, has played a critical role in our collective achievements. I want to extend a special thank you to our partners here today. We have Representatives Mike Levin, Representative Young Kim, Supervisor Katrina Foley, Mayor Kelly Jennings, and California Safety Commission Executive Director Andy Evertson. Your support and presence today are invaluable, and we're truly grateful to your commitment. Thank you very much. Today we gather not only to celebrate our achievement, but also to educate the public about the vital work we are undertaking to protect families and safeguard our water resources during emergencies. With that, please allow me to introduce Representative of California's 49th Congressional District, Mike Levin, a dedicated public servant who has tirelessly advocated for the interests of our district's residents, with a deep understanding of the community needs and a commitment to effective governance. Congressman Levin has been instrumental in securing critical funding and resources to support our region's growth and resilience. His leadership and dedication to serving the public are evident in his efforts to address pressing issues such as infrastructure and environmental sustainability. It's an honor to have Congressman Levin's steadfast support as we strive for progress and prosperity in our district. With that, Congressman Mike Levin.
Well, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Good, excellent. Well, you heard about my 9-year-old daughter who wanted to know about the next time we're going to have an earthquake. My 11-year-old son, my wife and I are very blessed to have a 9-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old son, and my son saw me put on my suit jacket this morning, and he said, well, where are you going? I said, I'm going to go to a press conference all about sewers. He was not impressed. He was not impressed by this, but you know, what can I say? I really want to thank my friend Dwayne Cave as well. You know, there was a rumor that Dwayne was going to retire, but he's like failing retirement. But in the best possible way, and I'm very grateful to Dwayne for his decades of leadership at SCG&E and still his great leadership at Molten-Miguel. Grateful to the whole team at Molten-Miguel. Just been delighted to get to work with you all, and in particular, since the redistricting and now having the city of Laguna Niguel in the 49th Congressional District, I just can't thank you all enough. And that goes for Mayor Jennings as well. Thank you so much. It's been really tremendous to work with you. I still believe that when we work together, we can do big things. That isn't always the case these days in Washington, D.C. By the way, it's really nice to be with normal, rational people rather than in Washington, D.C. But I have been so fortunate to get to know and to get to work with Young Kim, who's right here behind me, who you're going to hear from. And I hope you know that for all the craziness that you hear on TV, God help you if you watch cable news all day, you would think that nothing good is happening, nothing good is getting done, and there are no productive relationships that grow across the aisle, and I'm here to tell you it's just not so. I've been able to work with Young on a number of really important initiatives for our respective communities over these past number of years, and that's how it's always going to be. And I would be remiss if I didn't give a huge shout out to two more people. One is Jose Solorio, who I've known forever, and Jose is looking very rested. He's no longer an elected official in Sacramento. If you notice, he looks really rested. I think that might be a correlation. And certainly, last but not least, is Katrina Foley. Katrina is doing a tremendous job as county supervisor, and I'm just so grateful to her for her commitment, her dedication, her work ethic, her knowledge of the issues. Really could not have a better partner at the county level, and I know you're going to hear from Katrina. But back to the sewers. Let's talk about sewers for a minute. Very exciting, $10.3 million in federal funds, in FEMA funds, that I helped to secure to replace nearly 2 miles of sewer force main right here in Laguna Niguel and in Laguna Hills. Really important because the pipes that are currently here were installed in 1980. And I was born in 1978, and 1980 is a few years ago. So we really need to replace these pipes. And it's so important because it carries half of all of the district wastewater from the collection system to the local treatment plant. And so this is vitally important. So once the project's complete, we'll have a sewer system that's more reliable, more resilient in the face of natural disasters. And again, it is Earthquake Preparedness Month. Maybe that's why my daughter was asking me about it this morning. But we need to be more prepared. And our water infrastructure, as was said, is very vulnerable to earthquake damage. That's what makes this grant and this work so important. Often, earthquakes out of sight, out of mind. It's very easy to forget that we live in Southern California. We live in paradise, but paradise does have its challenges, and the potential for earthquakes is one of those. But by taking action to mitigate earthquake damage now, we can prevent costly sewage backups in homes and the potential release of untreated sewage into parks like those in our community. Additionally, capital and water efficiency projects like this one will help our community save money and save water. And as was mentioned, federal resources will cover 75% of the project's expected construction costs. And I think it's peace of mind. Above all else, it's peace of mind. I mean, there's enough stuff to worry about. Having water infrastructure that can withstand an earthquake, I think, is something we should be all very happy to see. So I'm very grateful to Molten Niguel, very grateful to everybody here, and really the opportunity to continue to partner and do great things in the years ahead. And with that, I'll turn it back over, I believe, to Dwayne? Nope, I won't. Take it away.
Thank you, Congressman Levin, for your invaluable support in bringing all this funding to our district. And it benefits your constituents and safeguards public health. Thank you very much. It's now my pleasure to introduce Congresswoman Young Kim, a dynamic leader who tirelessly represents the interests of our district, and with unwavering dedication and integrity, and with a wealth of experience and a deep understanding of our community's needs, Congresswoman Kim has been a real driving force behind numerous initiatives, all aimed at bolstering our region's resilience to natural disasters, ensuring access to clean water, and modernizing our critical infrastructure. We are so privileged to have Congresswoman Kim's leadership guiding us toward a safer and more prosperous future for our district and beyond. Congresswoman Young Kim.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being here this morning, and I want to thank the leadership of the Molten Niguel Water District for bringing us all together to celebrate with you, and the community for coming out to witness how exciting this project and also how this project is going to improve our lives better, and especially in this special areas to make sure that we are earthquake, seismic, retrofit, and we're going to be providing the community with the safety net that we all need and deserve. I'm really excited. When I was asked to provide the support and make sure that we get the critical funding from the federal government, I jumped at the chance to be engaged, as I am always doing. I mean, despite the dysfunction that you may see in Washington, D.C., that's because the media is portraying it that way. As my dear colleague, Congressman Levin, mentioned, there are enough of us who are just ignoring all those dysfunction and wanting to get things done and bring some real tangible results, such as what we're doing here today. And Congressman Levin and I have partnered with several projects that require bipartisan support. If you want to get anything done, you cannot do it alone. To prove that point, I also introduced a BUTS Act. I just want to plug that quickly. BUTS Act means building unity through doer sponsorship, because current House rule basically says only the person who introduces the legislation becomes the only co-sponsor of the bill. Well, our bill will change the House rules permanently, so we can have one Democrat and one Republican as a joint co-sponsor of any legislation, resolution, bills, or initiatives. That way we get the buy-in from the very beginning, and it has a better chance of getting it on the House floor and get it done and sign it into law. I think that's critically important, and this was a recommendation made by the Special Committee on Modernization. And so that was a recommendation that was brought to our attention last year in 2023, and I took it, ran with it, and introduced the bill, and I hope that we can get this signed into law before the end of the year. But again, as you said, back to why we're here. We are really excited to be part of this announcement, because one of the greatest things that I get to do as your federal representative is to identify what tools and resources we have at the federal government. And if it's already funds that is appropriated through the congressional action, my job and Congressman Levin's job is to go after those and fight for those to meet the needs of our local communities that we respectfully represent, which is why we worked on a number of initiatives together. We worked really hard to get behind the community project funding request to get the funds here, and that is what we're doing here today. And this, the work that you do at Morton-Niguel Water District, you are providing clean water to more than 170,000 customers, including many that I represent in South Orange County communities. So I'm really excited about this project because you got the $10.3 million grant from FEMA for hazard mitigation, very much needed, because as Californians, we're always living with the possibility of earthquakes, are we not? And with a storm like this, in my district, since I represent a lot of the canyon communities, I've been watching every single day to make sure that there is no other disasters. We were really worried about mudslides, and thankfully, because of the earlier actions of cleaning up and mitigating the areas that could be dangerous, we have not seen any mudslides this time. So I'm so thankful for that. Since we are always living with the possibility of earthquakes, I think it's very fitting that this district is announcing this project as the Earthquake Awareness Month is coming up. And your son and daughter is very smart to know that this is that time of the year. So I was glad to write a letter of support to the federal government on behalf of the Morton-Niguel Water District so that we can get this funding and improve the two large underwater sewer pipelines from Laguna Niguel, Laguna Hills to Aliso Viejo, all these communities that I represent in the California 40th District. And we will be providing more resilient materials to keep them running during earthquakes and other seismic events. So I want to congratulate the leadership of the Water District, but you have one kick-ass general manager, June Kim Lopez, working day and night very, very, passionately. She knows what she's doing. And Matt, Thank you very much for your work. And Congressman Levin mentioned, Jose, when I served with you in Sacramento, we were always running around, but you do look very relaxed. And so kudos to you, and thank you so much for what you do here at the Water District, because I know water was always one of the key policy areas that you worked on while you were in the state legislature. So thank you so much. But again, it's the community believing in the leadership here at the Milton-Niguel Water District, allowing them to do what they do so they can better represent you. So thank you so much for having me. It's a delight to be here, and I am more delighted and privileged and honored to be your representative in Washington, D.C. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Brian Probalski, Vice President of the district. Jose, don't you have some work you need to do? Thank you, Congresswoman Young Kim, for being here today, for your ongoing work in Washington, D.C. to advocate for Southern California. Thanks to Congresswoman Kim, Southern California has received millions of dollars in federal funds to strengthen our local infrastructure and prepare for emergencies. And speaking of normal, rational people, it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker. She's one of really the hardest working elected in South Orange County. You'll find her everywhere. She understands that protecting our environment requires ongoing investments in our local water infrastructure. Supervisor Katrina Foley is one of the leading voices for coastal protection and climate resiliency planning in Orange County. Supervisor Foley initiated the first of its kind climate action plan for Orange County, which is helping our community prepare our infrastructure for the effects of climate change and the conditions that go along with that. She also understands what it takes to lead in an emergency. In 2021, Supervisor Foley led the response to the oil spill in Huntington Beach, and that included coordinating the cleanup, beach reopening, small business recovery, and helping public agencies, residents, and businesses with the rightful reimbursements. We're grateful to Supervisor Katrina Foley for her leadership and her tireless service to Orange County. Supervisor Foley.
Well, it's great to be here, and I'm Katrina Foley, County Supervisor representing the fabulous 5th District, and if those of you who don't know, the 5th District covers Costa Mesa all the way down the coast to San Clemente. It includes the beautiful city of Laguna Niguel, and since I became the representative about a year ago, I've learned a lot about South County and a lot about the infrastructure needs. I've partnered with all of you, grateful for the partnership with both of our congressional representatives. I happen to represent a district that's got 3 congressional representatives, and so I appreciate you all really bringing back those investments back to Orange County. It's so critical. And the timing of this $10.3 million FEMA grant couldn't be better. About 10 days from now, Orange County will be filing our first preliminary climate action plan as part of a major grant request that we have. And I want to take a moment. I saw he was here earlier, and I can't see him now. There he is. James Treadaway, who's our Director of Public Works. Thank you for being here. And our Orange County Fire Association, or Orange County Fire Authority representatives that are here today, thank you for being here. Yes, thank you. We are truly grateful for the work that everyone is doing right now to prepare for the storm, to be at the ready. And the work that Milton-Niguel Water District has been doing and is doing with this grant is part of that process, because we can't just keep relying on 40-year-old pipes. I mean, most in the room are over 40, right? We all need upkeep and maintenance. And so it is very important that we, except for Alyssa over here, she's youngin'. But it's very important that we modernize and that we change our infrastructure out to be more sustainable, more reliable, and more relevant for the future for Orange County. And the future for Orange County includes hurricanes, coastal erosion, landslides, sewage spills, and all of those kinds of very natural disaster type of situations. And so we've got to be ready so that the residents are not as impacted. And so I'm so grateful that Moulton-Niguel Water District has been planning and preparing and is at the ready when the funds become available, because that's really critical as well. You have to be ready. We learn that when we're preparing for our climate action planning, and the projects that we're trying to get into the process, they have to be ready. They have to be designed. And so the fact that Moulton-Niguel Water District is ready is a benefit to all of us here in Orange County, especially those in South County. I also want to point out that the district's innovative approach to the engineering and the water infrastructure, it's going to allow service to remain uninterrupted. Now that is beautiful in a public works project. When you can continue to do the modernization and you can continue to offer the service, that benefits the ratepayers, and it keeps businesses open, it keeps homes running smoothly, and it keeps schools, in fact, also able to continue to operate well. So state-of-the-art micro-tunneling engineering technique will minimize our impacts on our natural environment. And all of this is all about that sustainability planning that you talked about, Dwayne. So we are really excited about this project, and the Moulton-Niguel Oasis Water Resources Center concept is a model for our whole state and for others across the country. So when you two go back and you're talking to your colleagues, maybe you can share a little bit about what we're doing here in Orange County, right? Orange County, the new green. 90% of South County's water is imported. And so this is also part of that planning for the future, so that we are not cut off from our water supply, which they tell me that if we get cut off from our water supply, South County would only have 10 to 20 days of potable water available. So this project not only is going to benefit the treatment, it's also going to allow water to be available and to increase our ability to provide water in a crisis. So I'm excited, and I appreciate all the work that you've done. I'm happy to have been included here, and I will do whatever I can to continue to support Moulton-Niguel Water District, Laguna Niguel, and all of South County in the 5th District as we move towards a more sustainable and green community, and we repurpose our infrastructure, because these are big projects that are important for the future of Orange County. So thank you all. Congratulations.
Thank you, Supervisor Foley. You know, people often say, what does resilient mean? And you've seen all different definitions, but she hit it right on the head. It's about being ready to respond. But I am going to add a second definition to that along Congressman Kim, which is get it done. Be ready to respond, but get it done. So speaking about getting it done, as I mentioned, we can't do this without the support of our communities. And at Moulton-Niguel, we pride ourselves on being not your average utility. We're a little unique because we are about people. We are in the people business. And that's why we work so closely with all of our communities, not just the cities that we serve, but the surrounding cities. And I'm so proud to introduce our next speaker, who is Mayor Kelly Jennings. And the thing that I like to say about her is she has a long history in water and wastewater. She actually used to be an employee at Moulton-Niguel Water District, and then came back as one of our board of directors, and then left us to be the Laguna Niguel council person. But she is our mayor, and we're very excited to have her. So, Mayor Jennings.
Thank you, June. And it is always so great to be home. I love Moulton-Niguel. This is such a great place to be. And your leadership, June and Matt, I am so proud of you all and all of staff. You guys work so hard, and I am just incredibly proud to be here. So as the mayor of Laguna Niguel, where $10.3 million will be invested, I simply wanted to say thank you. I acknowledge and appreciate Moulton-Niguel Water District's proactive approach to safeguard our community against potential water-related challenges, especially earthquakes. I also want to express the city's gratitude for the collaborative efforts between all levels of government to advocate for this grant, and next, to implement this grant. Thank you to FEMA and our Congress members, Cal OES, OC Parks and our elected supervisors, and our own Laguna Niguel staff and council. Thank you again, Molten Niguel Water District, and all of you for showing up, showing how strong partnerships can lead to excellent results and greater benefits for our local communities. Thank you so much.
So not only is this month Earthquake Awareness Month, but 2024 is FEMA's Year of Resiliency. And I have the pleasure of working with our next speaker. I serve on the California Seismic Safety Commission, so all things earthquake related. And Andy Arvidsson is our executive director, and she has had a long history with California Office of Emergency Services and brings a wealth of knowledge and experience which all Californians are benefiting from. So it's with my honor and privilege to introduce Andy.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here today and to congratulate the district on the award of $10.3 million. As they mentioned, they started this process back in 2019. It takes a long time to get these types of awards. The hurdles to overcome are great, but when successful, it's really worth it. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about earthquake preparedness. As we mentioned, Earthquake Preparedness Month is coming up. But I used to work for the California Earthquake Authority too, and people always used to ask me, when's the next earthquake? Are you authorizing an earthquake? I'd say, whoa, 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 we don't want any earthquakes, we're not authorizing an earthquake, but it's always important to be prepared. And so mitigation measures for all types of infrastructure, as well as what you do in your own home, is important for the safety and resilience of all Californians. And these upcoming important upgrades taken by the districts ensure the health and safety of your community, and it's so very important. But it's also important for you all to know what you can do to help yourselves and your community in becoming more resilient, because it's not a matter of if an earthquake's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And we hope it doesn't happen anytime soon, but if it does, it's important for all of us to be prepared. So with this month coming up, there are certain things that you can do to become more prepared. And I'm going to talk about a few of them. But if you go to earthquake.ca.gov, you're going to learn more and you're going to see about all of these things that I'm talking about. But here are some that you can do. You can participate in earthquake early warning by signing up for government emergency alerts. If you have an iPhone, you can download the MyShake app, which will hopefully tell you in advance of an earthquake that it's coming. If you have an Android phone, actually Android has it downloaded on your phone for you. And you need to know what to do in the event of an earthquake. You need to know that you should drop to the ground, cover your head and with your arms, hold on to your neck, and do not run from the building, right? Stay put until the earth has stopped shaking. You should develop an emergency preparedness plan for you and your family. If you go to earthquake.ca.gov, you'll learn more about what that means. It means, one of the things it means is understanding what you should do if your family members are in a different location. Some of you have children in schools. Some of you work very far from where your home is. Where are you going to meet? What are you going to do? You need to understand and make a plan for that. And you need to pack an emergency supply kit. If you can't be in your home, what are you going to take from your home? If you happen to be at work, do you have something in your car to help you if you can't get back home? What are those things that you might need? It's also understanding what the risks are to your specific home and where you live. You can visit another website, myhazards.caloes.ca.gov, to learn about the local risks, not only earthquake, but flood, fire. It's all there for you. You can also get some information about how to secure your appliances and your gas meters if you have one, and other information that's valuable. The Seismic Safety Commission a number of years ago put together a homeowner's guide to earthquake safety. You can download that at ssc.ca.gov to learn about things you can do from your, how to make your home safer. If you actually bought a house in California in the last 30 years, you're supposed to have received one of those in that big stack of paper that you sign. Most people don't know they've received it. But you can find it online, and it gives you a lot of great information on the different things you can do to make your home safer. If you live in a house that has a raised foundation, you can go to earthquakebracebolt.com and look to see if the grant program that provides quite a bit of money to you is available to seismically retrofit your house. If you're a business owner, there is another great document that the Seismic Safety Commission put out, the Commercial Property Owner's Guide. It can help you learn what to do for your business to make your business more resilient, what you can do for your employees to make sure that they are more resilient and can come back to work. And all of those things, again, several different websites, earthquakes.ca.gov, ssc.ca.gov, and myhazards.ca.gov gives you a lot of different information about the things that you can do to make yourself and your community more resilient. Again, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. And again, congratulations on the award. It takes a lot to get there, and it's a great thing. But working together with all of these things before the next inevitable damaging earthquake, we can make sure that your community and your family and friends are safer and more resilient. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And we're doing some exciting work with her staff as well as FEMA to modify some of the criteria for these federal funding, billions of dollars that are just sitting there that is going unsubscribed, and being able to modify those criteria so that we can release those funds not just in California, but nationally. So our last presentation is from the office of Assemblywoman Diane Dixon. She has been a great supporter of ours. She couldn't be here today, but we're very lucky to have Kristen Vallandi with a proclamation.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Kristen Vallandi on behalf of Assemblymember Diane Dixon. Such an honor to be here. I mean, this is the A-team, needless to say. The Assemblywoman is certainly grateful and appreciative of the leadership that was brought today over these last 5 years to get the money here that is so very needed for Moulton-Niguel Water District. She is certainly very well aware that it's a very well-directed and well-managed water district, and we know that Moulton-Niguel is always a step ahead of the curve. So thank you for everything you do on behalf of your customers and the community, and congratulations to you today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, all good things do have to come to an end. I do appreciate Supervisor Foley talking about OASIS. We love acronyms here. It's a sticker for the brain: optimize, adaptive, sustainable, integrated supply. It is the first direct potable reuse project that is being contemplated, actually that will be completed before any of the other ones that we hear from LA or San Diego. Direct potable reuse allows us to recycle water to such advanced level that it could be put into pipes and infrastructure for drinking water. So we have a potential to have the first project in California. It's smaller than some of the other ones in other county, but we can learn a lot from this. And this actually started, talk about partnership and collaboration, the work that we did with our communities, our cities, and the County of Orange. It started as a smart watershed network project to really understand runoff into our ocean and be able to measure, be able to use data, use technology, to work with our customers to reduce runoff into the ocean, affecting ocean quality. But also, this involved our customers, because in order to reduce runoff that comes mostly from outdoor over-irrigation, we reached out to our customers, again, using technology and data. And this has been a partnership that's been going on for several years, and it's gotten a lot of attention statewide, a lot of funding opportunities that we were able to bring. And what this does for our cities is it allows them to save money in making sure when they are complying with some of these requirements for runoff, they have to build infrastructure to mitigate these runoff. And the less runoff, less infrastructure equals less money. And this exciting project, OASIS, is ranked #1 project by FEMA and California Office of Emergency Services. And we have received almost $2 million in the initial feasibility planning study. So this is an exciting partnership that we started with all of you. But in order to get us through the finish line, making sure that we get that funding sooner than later, making sure that we get more money to do this project that's going to enhance reliability, we look to our elected officials, our partners, and we can't do this without the public support and certainly the political will. And that's what makes today so special. And we thank you so much for joining us and coming out today. Thank you again to our, I call them our champions, our heroes for making this happen, because without them, we don't get to have this wonderful news. So thank you all.